Welcome back, pilots, to Squadrons Update. Today we'll be tackling some brand new information that we were able to learn about in the last couple of days. Especially news which definitely will become a big talking point within the community. Some of the topics that we will be going over today is Motive confirming no live service support for Squadrons, AI fleet battles, confirmation of ranked online play, and even likely the Battle of Yavin being included within the single player campaign. As always, we'll be covering all of this and more in today's video. And before we get into any of that, but a quick reminder, as if you do like these type of videos, then do remember to give it a like to show your support for not only this update series, but also the content within it. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Starting things off, the biggest news story that has come out for Squadrons in the last couple of days is regarding its post-launch support, and whether it will be getting anything like that. As we've seen with EA's last couple of multiplayer-based games, all of those came supported with a live service, consistently offering new free DLC content every couple of months or so. And the general expectation for everyone was that this would as well be happening with Squadrons just the same. Rumors for a live service were also fueled with this specific comment made by Lucasfilm's Orion Kellogg, who in an article on Squadrons published on StarWars.com stated that there are still a few more surprises yet to come for fans in terms of playable ships. Giving folks, of course, the idea that Motive haven't necessarily revealed everything to us yet, or more ships will be coming as DLC later on. For one, this gave fans a lot of hope for the chance of B-Wings and TIE Defenders potentially to be included in the game, as those two ships in particular haven't been officially revealed by Motive as of yet, and could still come later on as a surprise. However, a lot of this went downhill when it was revealed that this article was actually written sometime before EA Play. Meaning, at that time, all of the Rebel and Imperial bombers, interceptors, and support ships weren't officially unveiled. So technically, Orion was really talking about those ship types as being the few surprises coming later and not B-Wings or TIE Defenders like everyone thought otherwise. Afterwards, it was then announced that nope, Squadrons will not feature a live service, nor even post-launch content. And the reason for that is simple: Motive wants to deliver a finished product at release, rather than putting out something with content missing only to add it in later on like Battlefront 2 did. Motive's creative director Ian Fraser had this to say: "Our mindset has been very old school. We're trying to say with this game that we have a $40 price point. We want to feel generous to players, and we want it to feel like a complete experience. Like, you'll give us your $40, here's a game that you will love, thank you, that's it. This isn't something that we're building around a live service strategy. It's built around a game that is complete and great in its own right. That's not to say that we will never add anything, I guess we could, but it's not presented as a live service." So this is without a doubt a great message to give, but at the same time further proves my point I made before, that this is a smaller scale game and should not be compared to the likes of Battlefront 2 that had a larger budget, more resources, and thus far more content. Squadrons isn't anything like that. It will only feature 8 playable ships and 6 maps in total, which at face value isn't much at all, especially in 2020 gaming. However, if the game is truly fun, then I don't think it will matter too much, especially since, again, it isn't a full-priced game. That said, I personally think that this is all a PR stunt, meaning if the game doesn't sell well, they can just go, yeah, we said no content after launch, that's it. But if it does do good in sales, then they could always drop some new DLC sometime later on. Because let's take Jedi Fallen Order as an example. That game had no live service nor post-launch content planned. Yet as we all know, it sold very well, and in response, Respawn gave it a couple of DLC content drops that made a lot of people happy. Granted, it's nothing compared to what Battlefront 2 got through with its live service, but it's still something and new content nonetheless. Also, Ian in his comment still leaves the door open to DLC coming later on, or potentially. So the chance is still always there. Sure, it's not guaranteed and will depend heavily on game sales, but it's there, it's something. Now moving on, we've got some other cool and interesting tidbits of information to go over on Squadrons. Like Ian confirming that playing the Star Wars flight sims of the 90s, such as the X-Wing or TIE Fighter series, was a must for Motive's devs. So this is for sure very assuring news for all the folks out there who were worried about Squadrons perhaps straying far too much from the traditional flight sim games. Fortunately, this doesn't look to be the case here. Next, in terms of single-player news, we know for a fact that it will be largely based during the events after the Battle of Endor, hence why we keep hearing and seeing the early New Republic mentioned rather than the Rebel Alliance. But a new interview with Ian Fraser has revealed that we may even play as early as the Battle of Yavin in the campaign's prologue. Ian states that the campaign kicks off after the destruction of Alderaan, so we'll start off the single-player part as the Rebel Alliance, hence why we see the Rebel and not the New Republic symbol in the character creation screen. Then once we complete some training missions, we could take part in the Battle of Yavin or simply time skip towards after the Battle of Endor. And from there, we'll get the option to play multiplayer or not. So, by the sounds of this, playing the prologue first will be required before we're able to do anything else in the game. Personally, I doubt our custom pilot, or at least rebel pilot, will be taking part in the Battle of Yavin. And that's because we know only of 3 rebels that survived that battle in Luke, Wedge, and Yvonne. That said, if we do play in the Battle of Yavin, it would have to be with our custom TIE pilot. As we know in canon, there were several Imperial TIE fighters that did survive that battle, including Iden Versio. So if that's the case, then that would be very interesting, as I don't think we've ever had the chance to play the Battle of Yavin from the Imperial perspective. So thinking about it, then yeah, I'd be down for that. And since we're still on the topic of single player, while I did make this clear in my last video that fleet battles could be played offline with just AI bots, some folks still wanted more confirmation on that, even though I personally thought the trailer made it clear already, but fair enough. EA's community manager for Squadrons, Jay Ingram, commented on this by confirming that yes, there will be an option to play fleet battles offline with just AI. Fantastic. Jumping into multiplayer now, there are still plenty of questions remaining there, especially when it comes to the competitive aspect of it all. Fortunately, we've been able to learn a little bit more about this, and the news here is also great. As Ian recently made plenty of online-focused players happy when he revealed that the PvP online fleet battles will in fact be ranked. So this is not only good news because it gives players something to constantly strive for and better themselves in, their rank, but as well make online games that much more balanced, meaning that it will only pit you against people of your own skill level regardless of the platform that you'll be playing on. So no need to worry about playing with elite players if you're only a beginner pilot or vice versa. And this is already a huge step in competitive play that Squadrons has over Battlefront 2, which did not have ranked play and still to this day has issues of beginners feeling overwhelmed when getting pitted against experienced players. Not only will this help with Squadrons in potentially becoming maybe an esports title one day, but as well give players motivation to keep on playing in a balanced environment. Now all I seriously need to hear from Ian or someone from Motive confirm about in-game clans being an actual thing, because if that happens then Squadrons is without a doubt, or it will be a day by one, at least for me, for sure. Until the next time, this will do it for your Squadrons update. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel to not only support it, but also keep up with Star Wars news, gaming, and canon lore released every week. And consider following me on Twitter and Facebook to never miss out on the latest Star Wars content. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.